Hey guys, so today I'm going to show you the full description on how to put on an amplifier into your stock stereo. If you see my first video, then you know that this is the one thing that you need to make the whole magic happen. It's called a level output converter. You could find it in stores for around $15, $10 to $40 depending on the brand, depending on the store you go to. This one comes with 5 wires. Also, there's also other types that also just come with the with more wires, and they will actually tap into the battery wire. But if you get that one, then you're definitely gonna have to hook it up on the front. If you get this one that's just plain and simple, then this one you can hook it up either on the front, behind the deck, or on the back, to be able to tap into speakers. The back is easier because the cable is already out there. You don't have to pull out the deck to connect it. The speaker wire is already outside. So what you do with this is it has 5 cables. It'll have a black one, ground, all by itself. You could ground it. You don't have to, but it doesn't hurt to ground it. Then you got the other 4 cables. This ones will be together. You have white solid, and then you have white with a black stripe on it. The ones with the black stripes on it are negative. Depending on your, if you're gonna hook up a 4-channel amplifier, then you might want to separate them and connect them into their actual channels. The way I have it connected right here is I got the 2 positives connected together and the 2 negatives together to create one channel, instead of having to stretch out from one speaker, which would be the left channel, and then the other speaker, which will be the right channel. For a sub, I don't think you need to do that because it's a sub. You don't need 2 channels. But if you're trying to hook up a 4-channel amplifier and it's going to be voice coming out through it, then you want to hear the left speaker by itself and the right speaker by itself as well, like separated, not together. But if it's a sub, then this is what I do for my installations. I just create one channel instead of making 2 channels. So this is going to be for one speaker, another speaker, like I said, right and left channel. Then all you do from there on is you connect the RCAs right here to your amplifier. Some amplifiers will have everything like on one side, but in this case, this one has it. This one has the remote wire, the power wires on one side, and the RCA wires on the other side. Going to the power wires, the amplifier is only going to have 3. It's going to have the ground and the battery. The ground goes connected to any metal part of the vehicle. So any metal part, that's ground. Just make sure that when you're gonna make the hole, you make sure you know where your gas tank is at, because if you make a hole and you end up getting hitting the gas tank, then you're gonna have problems. So first, get underneath the car and see if you see the gas tank. If you see it, put either you just put it like behind the seat or something, but just make sure you don't hit the gas tank. You don't want to use any screws longer that are long. You want to use something like small, nothing big. The remote wire, that's what turns on the amplifier. These 2 could be connected and have power, but if this one is not connected, it's not going to turn on. The remote wire, what it does, it turns on the amplifier when the car turns on, and it turns it off when the car turns off. That cable goes either all the way to the front behind the deck to the ACC switch wire, or to make it easier, you tap into the fuses, which for most vehicles is located on the driver's side, either by the door or underneath the steering wheel. In order to find the one that switches on when the car turns on, then you're gonna need a tester. It doesn't have to be nothing fancy, just something that could detect electrical current from a car, a 12-volt car. So what you do is you got your fuses, and then you see the little metal part right there. That's you could test the current from right there. So what you want to do is, if you have the car on, not on, but just on the on position, and then test it out. If it turns on, if the light turns on your tester, there's power going through it. So you want to make sure that that's only gonna the tester is gonna show that it has power only when the car is on, when the switch is on. So what you do is you turn it off, you switch it off, the car, and if the light turns off, then that means that's your power switch wire. That's where you want to put your remote wire. But if it stays on when you turn off the car, then you don't want to put it there, because then the amplifier is going to stay on the whole time. So that's what the remote wire does. And this one, 12-volt power wire, that one goes all the way straight to the battery. If you have a BMW, it's not going to be a problem because the battery is on the back. So you could just, it's right there. You're not going to have no problem with it. But if it's not, then you're going to have to stretch it all the way from the back to the front. Usually all cars, you'll be able to see that they have wires going from the inside of the car to the outside. So that's what you want to look for. Usually it will just have like a rubber surrounding the wires to isolate it. Then you just want to be careful when you're trying to get into it. But that's it, plain and simple. Nothing fancy, nothing hard to do. Subscribe to my videos, to my channel.